Hello, everyone. Welcome to this presentation and welcome to this educational class where I'm going to be talking about next level pullback trading. Now, what we want to do is talk about the definition first of exactly what a pullback is. Now, in an overall uptrend, a pullback is either a large, moderate, or shallow sell-off. So, for example, if we look at this chart here, we see here that we have a nice upward trend going, right? We have higher highs, higher lows. So the overall trend is up. But a pullback looks to buy at these lower levels right here. This would be the most opportune place to buy before it started to go up. Now, conversely, in an overall downtrend, a pullback is either a large, moderate, or shallow rally. So as we see here, the overall trend is down, lower highs, lower lows. Pullback traders like to sell at these higher levels to get the best possible prices. So we ask ourselves, is there a strategy specifically designed to identify these high probability pullback setups? Well, in fact, there is, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And the beauty of this strategy is that it's auto-generated. The signals are on our platform, the PTS Primo Charting Platform, the educational platform that actually identifies these pullback strategy sell-offs. So welcome once again to this educational presentation. My name is Steven Primo. I am the president and founder of Specialist Trading. And first of all, I want to thank you for coming back and joining us today. Last week, we were going to present this exact same class. Unfortunately, we had some audio issues where they actually had the update of the software for our presentation on Zoom, but when they update it, they didn't recalculate our settings for the microphone. And so therefore, we couldn't figure out exactly why the microphone wasn't working. But thanks for coming back. We wanted to present it in its entirety today. Hopefully, each and every one of you are listening. And now that I've psyched myself out, why don't I just take a show of hands just to make sure that you can actually hear me clearly, because I'd hate to go through the exact same thing we did last week. So if you can hear me all right and see the presentation, just type in yes or no, Y or N, so that make sure that everything is being heard well. Okay, looks so far like everything is okay. I see some people raising their hand. Yes, okay, great. Well, thank you. I'm glad, because now I can continue the presentation. Now, before we begin, as always, we're required to share this with you, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to share with you a lot of performance results using this strategy today, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. And also, since we are an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Another way, as we always say, to get education free on a daily basis is to follow us on Twitter or X, whichever you decide to label it. Every day I post between 3 to 5 different snapshots of signals our strategies and methods have generated to bits of financial wisdom. So there's lots of great free information on Twitter or X. Please feel free to follow us. Okay, remember, we are an educational company. I know a lot of times we get people in our courses and our classes that say, hey, Steve, why don't you tell me what you think of the market? Or Steve, what's this stock going to do? Or Steve, what's the best time frame for this strategy? Those are all things you have to decide for on your own. I can't tell you how many times I've taught the same method to numerous students around the world. And a student will say, Steve, this works great. In fact, it's the best thing I've ever seen for currency pairs on a 15-minute time frame. And someone else will email me and say, hey, Steve, I love this. I'm a swing trader, so I trade weekly charts of the spiders, and it works fantastic. Now, it doesn't mean that each one of these traders is wrong, that they're picking the wrong market in the wrong time frame. It means that you have to find what works for you, because everyone comes in with different parameters, different risk parameters, different ideas of where they want to exit or where they want to enter or place their stop. So ultimately, our goal as an educator is to provide you with all these different variables and allow you to choose from them, kind of like a buffet table of high probability setups and different ways in which to enter and trade, and then teach you how to pick what feels the best for you, what really will help you trade. So as a mentor, my goal is not to force feed you signals like so many other websites do, but it's really to teach you how to trade with the specialist edge, the same edge that was taught to me some 46 years ago, what has sustained me, and hopefully it will be able to do the same for you. Now, before we begin, just a couple of announcements. We have a good crowd here today, so please remember to ask me as many questions as you like, but I like to take the questions at the end of the class. So if you have any questions, kindly write them down or try to remember them. I promise I will get to them at the end of today's class. And this is also being recorded. So if you have to leave early, or if you're having technical issues like we had last week, don't worry. Each and every one of you will get a link to this live recording, okay? All right, with that stated, let's begin. And we're going to be talking about a pullback entry, or the basic phases of a pullback entry, because that's really what it's all about. Most traders think they trade pullbacks, but they don't really understand what goes into identifying what a pullback is. So let's go through the different phases. The first phase is phase number 1. That's the beginning of a trend. And that's easy to see in hindsight. You look back and you say, oh, wow, it's been going down for a while. I guess we've been in a downtrend. Or we've been going up for a while. I guess we've been in an uptrend. Well, that's phase 1. But then what usually happens is a counter trend. Okay, this is where students get confused and they say, well, it looks like we topped out. That guy in that chat room says that we should head much lower and make new lows. So I want to get out of the market entirely. Well, that may be true, but if you have the right requirements, you can discern whether that is the beginning of a new downtrend or if it's simply a pullback. Now, if it's a pullback, we have the requirements to show you what is involved within a pullback as opposed to a brand new trend. And then that's a buying opportunity. That's where you actually want to buy in those lower levels, because the next phase is phase number 3, where it's a resumption of the original uptrend. So pullback traders like to wait for that sell-off if you're a buyer. Or if you're a seller, it's just the opposite. You have a downward first phase, then you have a bounce. That's phase 2, or the pullback. And pullback traders like to sell in that little bounce at higher prices and wait for the resumption of trend in phase number 3. So if we go back and ask ourselves, well, is there a strategy specifically designed to identify these high probability pullback entries? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today, because there is. It's our premier strategy number 9. Some of the highlights of this particular method: it's a buy low, sell high pullback strategy, meaning that we buy low in an overall uptrend and we sell high in an overall downtrend. It does this by applying proprietary indicator-based method. The good news about strategy number 9 is you can apply it to virtually any market, any time frame, and any direction. So this is what we're providing you with, all these different variables, but we want you to decide which market to trade, which time frame, and which direction you like to trade. Also, how you like to apply strategy number 9, because you can also use option trading with this. In fact, it is ideal for option trading because oftentimes with our other strategies, say a continuation method where you'll be buying close to the high, well, oftentimes the premiums will be extremely expensive, and a lot of option traders don't like to buy when a premium is just too high. But if you are buying at the lows, when the market is, let's say, selling off, well, the premiums will be much less. So it makes it ideal for option trading. Same thing if there's a bounce in a pullback and you want to sell or buy the puts or some type of spread with a downward bias, well, the premiums will be very less than if you were simply waiting for it to go lower and then getting on top of it. Now, remember, we want you to learn the strategy, so we require all of our students to paper trade first. Why? Because not every trade is going to be a winner, okay? And we'll say it right out here because we know after trading for so long, I've been trading for 46 years, that not every trade is a winner. Our edge here is consistency. Consistency is a 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach. The 1 step back meaning you will have losses. But consistency is what will sustain you, not some fly-by-night method that promises the world and has a great couple of first trades and then gives everything back. That's not the type of trading method you want. You want something that has a 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach in order to be consistent. Now, some more information about strategy number 9, without giving it away because this is a proprietary tool. Basically, it employs 2 simple indicators, and their relationship to the price is what automatically produces the signals. Now, therefore, in an overall uptrend, the buy signals will be generated during a decline. And in an overall downtrend, the sell signals will be generated during a rally. This is where we get our pullback setups. So let's look at the process of actually trading strategy number 9. Let's look at those charts we looked at earlier, that OLA chart and AMAT. All right. Now, obviously, we're in an overall uptrend, but this is where pullback traders like to buy on these sell-offs in an overall uptrend, right? You don't want to be buying up here if you're a pullback trader. You'd like to buy somewhere down here. So how could we take advantage of that? Well, on our platform, click on strategy number 9 in the green strategy tab. Click on strategy number 9 in the drop-down menu. Click on signal arrow, and it will automatically generate the strategy number 9 setups. Okay, so look how they're all generated at the lows of these sell-offs before they started to rally back up. 1, 2, and then 3. That's how simple this process is. Now, in the course, we teach you about upwards of 6 or 7 different ways where to exit, 6 or 7 different ways to change your entry if you like, and 6 or 7 different ways to place your stop. Now, the same process can work to the downside. All right, let's look at this example in OKTA. Same process, just we reverse it. We're in an overall downtrend, and pullback traders would like to sell on these bounces. Now, obviously, if you sold here and you held on long enough, sure, you'd have a nice gain. But a pullback trader likes to wait and for the bounce to get in at a higher level, like here, 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 and here. So how could we take advantage of that? Well, we simply click on strategy number 9 in the drop-down menu, click on signal arrows, and you'll see the signal arrows were generated right at the tops of these little bounces, okay? This is why we call strategy number 9 our premier pullback method. Okay, let's look at some current strategy number 9 examples, just so you can get an understanding of how well this worked within the last month or so, okay? And remember, everything you're seeing today is generated using our platform, the PTS Primo Charting Platform I developed with Pro Trader Strategies that actually identifies these pullback strategy setups, and it automatically does them, and it's auto-generated on the screen. Okay, let's look at buys first, all right? All right, here we have Google. This is a nice run up here, okay? A nice rally. So obviously that's phase 1. And what happens next is we look for a sell-off. Now, a lot of traders would say, hey, Steve, boy, look at that. We broke all the support there. The uptrend has been broken. This looks like the beginning of a downtrend. I think I got to sell everything and go short, right? Well, it may be true, but what we teach you in the course is to discern whether this is the beginning of a downtrend or if it's just a pullback, a buying opportunity. And guess what? What we teach you, you would have known that this was actually a pullback. So this is a buying opportunity. It's not the beginning of a brand new downward trend. So we click on strategy number 9 in the drop-down menu, click on signal arrows, and we have what we call a cluster of signals right here. 2 signals very close to each other or almost touching. So what we're hoping for is phase 3, a resumption of the trend upward, and then look what happened. Phase 3, there's a nice quick little 10 points you could have made on the trade. Not a bad little quick trade with very minimal risk and just a very simple, easy way to make profit. Let's look at Lulu, okay? Obviously, we're in a downtrend, right? We're making lower lows, higher, or I should say lower highs, but this is actually a pullback. What you'll learn in the course, you would have known that this is not the beginning of a downtrend. This is a buying opportunity. And so strategy number 9 generated 2 buy signals right at the very low of that pullback. And in the next week, you could have potentially captured 25 points. And we realize this is an expensive stock, but you could have bought calls. You could have had some type of spread strategy with a bias to the upside. All right, let's look at VRTX. All right, this was in October coming into this month. Initially, we're going up and then down. Looks like we've topped out and we're starting to head lower, right? Well, this is just phase 1 and this is phase 2. So we have a buying opportunity here, and strategy number 9 generated a buy signal right at those lows. And look what happened. In the first week of this month, you could have potentially captured 23 points in about 4 or 5 days. Nice little trade there, right? Okay, we have a pullback in the Canadian dollar for all of you forex traders out there. The same principles apply. It doesn't matter if we're trading currency pairs. It doesn't matter if we are trading stocks. It doesn't matter if we're trading commodities. The same principles apply. And look what happened. After the pullback was completed and we had a couple of buy signals, 330 pips to the upside. And then look what happened. We had a sell-off, but this was just another buying opportunity. So you could have purchased again, and potentially captured 300 pips to the upside. This is the beauty of pullback trading. You wait for these high opportune places to buy at the lows and then wait for a stage 3 to begin, okay? Let's look at crowd, CRWD. This is CrowdStrike, all right? Once again, we have two setups here. We had phase number 1, phase number 2, the pullback buying opportunity right here, 2 cluster buy signals right next to each other, and 30 points coming into last month, October. And now we had 2 buy signals right here at the end of October and potentially 15 points coming into the first week of this month, November. Remember, pullback traders like to wait to buy at these lows, and they don't mind waiting to sell at the highs. If that fits your needs, if that's the type of trader you are, because we know a lot of traders don't like waiting for that. You may have to wait a couple of weeks or so, maybe even a month for a setup if you're following just 1 or 2 stocks. But if you don't mind doing that, you want these high probability setups, pullback trading and strategy number 9 is perfect for you. All right, let's go through the process again. This is a weekly chart of CEG. Once again, nothing changes. Same way when we're looking at the Canadian dollar, nothing changes if we're looking at a weekly chart. Same process applies. This is phase number 1, the beginning of a rally, okay? And all of a sudden we have a sell-off. This is where people say, hey, I got to get out now. It looks terrible. The market looks terrible. Most likely we're going to make new lows, right? Well, it could be true, but if it met the requirements that we teach you in strategy number 9 course, this is actually a pullback, which it was. So it was phase 2. Since it's a pullback, it's a buying opportunity environment. So we want to make sure that we have some setups. We click on strategy number 9 in the green strategy tab here. In the drop-down menu, click on signal arrows. And guess what? We had a cluster of buy signals right here towards the lows. You could have taken advantage of any one of those setups before phase 3 kicked in, and you could have potentially captured 40 points coming into last month, okay? This is a perfect example, textbook example of a pullback setup. Now, these are buy setups, but a lot of traders also like to go short, maybe buy some puts. Okay, well, let's look at sells now. Same principles apply, we'll just turn them upside down. All right, someone looking at this chart in Amazon last month, just about a month ago, would say, hey, Steve, there's major support in Amazon. That chat room I go to says that you've got to buy it because you've hit some major support. That's where all the institutions are buying. And you don't want to go against them. And also, I took that $10,000 course on candlesticks. And guess what? There's a bullish engulfing pattern right here. So this is very, very positive. And on top of that, for the past 4 days, we've gone up. So I think we're going to go much higher. That guy in that chat room says we're going to make brand new highs. So I don't want to miss this. I'm going to buy. All right. This is why most traders fail, because you're out of sync with what the market wants to do. And you're taking your cue, you're taking your trading decisions from an outside source. Remember, our job as a mentor is to provide you with the information so that you can make your trading decisions. As a mentor, I never tell students what the perfect time frame is. I never tell them what to buy or sell. Remember, that's your decision, because the only traders I have met in 46 years of trading that are consistent are the ones that make their own trading decisions. Everyone comes in, once again, with different parameters, different risk parameters, different ways to enter, different ways to exit. So our job is to provide you with that information, work with you so that you can understand. But if you simply listen to some guy in a chat room or some institution or buy some $10,000 program that really you understand what it's based off of, that's why you'll join the 85th percentile of traders that ultimately fail. We want to give you this information so that you can become consistent. So therefore, you would never have looked at this as a buying opportunity and never have looked at this as an uptrend, because this is simply a pullback to the upside. This is a selling opportunity, not a buying opportunity. Click on strategy number 9. In the drop-down menu, click on signal arrow. And you have a mini cluster of sell signals right at the top of that so-called uptrend, which is really a pullback. And guess what? If you had bought anywhere around here, you would have most likely lost money, because phase 3 immediately kicked in and you could have potentially made 15 points as opposed to potentially losing 15 points. Here's an example in Pepsi, PEP, all right? If you had bought on these bounces thinking that, well, it's going to go higher, well, look what happened. You would have lost money there and most likely here, because these are pullbacks to the upside. These are selling opportunities. Sell signals were generated using strategy number 9. And on this second setup, you could have potentially captured 25 points coming into last month. Here's an example in the 4-hour chart of the euro dollar. Now, I know the euro dollar has recently started to rally, but before it did, coming into October, it was heading down tremendously. And a lot of people were saying, well, you've got to buy it because it's really oversold, right? Well, that's what a lot of traders do. And then they continue to hold on until ultimately they let go when it's too late. They've lost too much. It's a lot easier if you're in sync with the market. And at this time, the market was still in a downtrend, phase number 1. When we bounced right here, a lot of people said, that's it. We bottomed out in the euro dollar. But we knew, our students that trade the forex markets knew that this was just phase 2, the pullback phase. Applying strategy number 9, they saw that we had 2 sell signals. And then ultimately, you could have potentially captured in the next couple of days, last month, 150 pips. Okay? That's how simple this process is, regardless of what market, regardless of what time frame. The only requirements are that you have to find out what market you like trading, and you have to find out what time frame you like trading. Let's look at this 15-minute chart of DLTR, dollar trade. Okay, someone could say the same thing. Hey, there's major support right here, even on a 15-minute time frame. Looks like we're going higher, but this is actually just a pullback. A sell signal was generated here. Remember, this is just a 15-minute time frame, and in roughly a couple of hours, you could have potentially captured 3 points in just about 3 hours. Okay, so you can use this currency pairs, weekly charts, or even 15-minute time frames. Let's look at IDXX, all right? Obviously, we're going lower. This is phase 1. Now we start to bounce. Everyone may think, hey, this is the beginning of an uptrend. It looks like we bottomed out. But according to the requirements, this is simply phase 2, a pullback in an overall downtrend. So therefore, this is a selling opportunity, not a buying opportunity. We click on strategy number 9 in a green strategy tab on our platform. In the drop-down menu, click on signal arrow. And we see here that we have right at the top a sell signal right here. Where everyone else was buying, thinking that IDXX had bottomed out last month, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, guess what? We were selling on strategy number 9 signal, and you could have potentially made in phase 3 75 points coming into this month, November. Okay, let's review what we taught you today. A pullback is either a large, moderate, or shallow sell-off in an overall uptrend, or a large, moderate, or shallow rally in an overall downtrend. Now, strategy number 9 is our premier pullback strategy. It's generating signals that are buying at the lower levels and generating signals that are selling at the higher levels. It's a proprietary indicator-based method that you can apply to any market, any time frame, and any direction. This makes it ideal for option trading because you'll have lower premiums to work with. If you decide to become a student of mine in the strategy number 9 course, it is required that you paper trade first. We want you to fully understand the process so that you can get to that higher level of consistency within your trading. So after what I showed you today, ask yourself, do you think pullback strategy number 9 can help your trading for the remainder of 2023? It's actually only about a little over a month left in 2023. Would you like to finish the year out strong? Well, if you're answering yes, and I think a lot of you are probably answering yes to this, we have a great offer for all of you attending today. This is our strategy number 9 powerful pullback trading special. Okay, you're going to get detailed video course instruction. You'll learn all of the different entries, all the different exits, and all the different stop placements for you to choose from. Remember, we provide you with this information and then work with you so that you can develop your own style of trading. You're going to get the entire course rules, includes the add-ons with the automatic signals, and you can apply to any market or time frame. And this also includes a signal scanner where you can scan on a nightly basis. Also comes with educational correspondence. Now, everything you've seen today is coming from our platform, the PTS Primo Charting Platform. So we're throwing in an extra bonus. We're also going to throw in the PTS Primo charts as well, included in this offer. Now, normally, this would cost you about $1,700 for a full year of the platform. We're going to throw in a full year absolutely free. That's a 35% discount off the entire price. Now, remember, with the platform, you're not just getting strategy number 9. It comes with a host of different indicators, different techniques and methods that I've accumulated in my 46 years that you won't find anywhere else, things that I've taken from my years on the trading floor and that you'll only find on the PTS Primo Charting Platform. Things like our enhanced buy-sell line, 4 different ways to determine the overall trend. You're going to get our strategy signal scanner, a strength of trend tool to tell you if a trend is running out of steam or if it still has energy left. Auto-generated exit levels. This is just one of our different ways of determining what the exits are, and they're auto-generated, these levels, on the platform themselves. And on top of that, over 90 of the most prominent technical indicators, along with personalized tech support. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg for what we're offering, but there are a host of other different techniques and methods included on the platform that I just don't have time to go over right now. A year from today, trust me, you will have wished you became a member of the Strategy Number 9 course. Take advantage of this great offer we're going to present right now, okay? Let's break it down. Our next level pullback trading special. Now, normally, strategy number 9 just by itself would cost $47.35. All right, we're going to slash that price down to $29.95. And that includes the full year of the platform. The best thing about this is you can either pay the full price of $29.95, which includes a platform, or you can establish a payment plan, which means you don't have to even come up with $29.95. You can come up with a small fraction of that price and establish a monthly payment plan and still be up and running as early as today. Think about that. Just for a small fraction of that price, you can establish a payment plan and have our tech support contact you and set you up with the platform and strategy number 9 on your computer as early as today. Remember, that's a 35% discount. You're saving over $1,700. Here's how to take advantage of this great offer, because it is a limited offer. Most likely when we give another presentation next week, we'll have another offer, another course, and this will be concluded. So if you're at all interested, I would highly recommend giving Pro Trader Strategies a call. They're in charge of all the discounts, all the pricing. They're my sister site. I developed the platform with them, and they're in charge of all the course information. I would suggest giving them a call at area code 310-598-6677. They have trading consultants manning the phones right now, and they'd be happy to either give you a quote to establish a payment plan, or they would answer any of your questions concerning the platform or concerning pricing as well, okay? Now, that link you see at the very bottom is the link that will take you to the sign-up page, also the info page, but it's not a live link. So if you, let me see, well, I don't think it's up there right now. Let me see if we can apply it right now. Oh, there it is. They just applied it on the chat box. If you click on the chat box and open that up, you'll see at the very bottom, they have the link there. It's live. So you can just click that on, and it will automatically take you to the info page and the sign-up page if you're interested, okay? So I'll leave all this info up here. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. I promised I would take questions at the very end of class. Either go to the chat box where the link has been posted, or you can go to the question and answer box, okay? Someone's asking, what are some of the innovative indicators that you have on the platform? Well, one of the best ones, which I'll be talking about. I even, actually, I have said before, this is probably one of our most overlooked tools, is our buy-sell line, because it automatically tells you the overall trend. And if you go on our Twitter page right now, you'll see that I tweeted this last week about a number of ways you could have used this simple tool that's on the platform to really help you get out of the way of some losing setups that were in the market. And also one of them is ZIM, Z-I-M. I tweeted about how that would have saved you over 45% of a price drop just recently using that. And that's just something that's automatically offered on the platform. Also, I also tweeted how the Eurodollar had been above the same tool for roughly about the last week, and how it was telling you that most likely there's going to be a bounce or rally. And I think the Eurodollar rallied roughly about 200 or more pips yesterday. So these are all things that you have at your access for free included on the platform on top of strategy number 9. So these are great ways to really help you become a consistent trader and close out the year strong. So that's just one of the simple things that's included on the platform. Someone's asking probably the most popular question I get at the end of every presentation: what does educational correspondence mean? Educational correspondence simply means that each and every one of my students gets my personal email. You can contact me whenever you'd like if you have a question, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, okay? So rather than having me sit next to you, it's probably the next best thing. You can contact me whenever you like, and I'll be there to answer your question concerning any of the trading things or issues you may be coming up with strategy number 9. Now, strategy number 9 is a great tool. Once again, if you're still not convinced, go to our platform there. The Twitter page. And there are a number of examples I shared on our platform that were strategy number 9 signals recently within the last couple of weeks. So there's some really great ways to see how well this has worked. One last thing I would like to say, though, if you're at all interested in becoming a strategy number 9 student of mine, please remember that this current offer, if you want to pay in full $29.95, which is a great 35% discount, or if you want to establish a payment plan, which is even a better way, that these are limited offers. Once again, if you, as so many other students have done in the past, they'll wait about a month and they say, oh, okay, I haven't made any more money with my strategy. I'm going to ask about that strategy number 9. Well, most likely the price will be right back up to, close to $5,000. So, and that won't include the platform. So please, if you're interested at all, watch this video. You're each going to get a link to this presentation. Watch the video and then contact Pro Trader Strategies. They would be more than happy to answer any question and sign you up right over the phone, okay? Now, as we conclude, we're all out of questions. So as we conclude and take a last look at our disclaimer, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're liking this, I know that we have people watching us right now on YouTube. Please hit the like button or subscribe to our YouTube page. We'll have a lot more of these presentations over YouTube. And also, I just want to say, I hope you learned something about pullback trading, and I hope you at all were interested in strategy number 9, because it really is a great course, okay? Thank you so much for attending. I wish you all the best of luck and look forward to seeing all of you in the strategy number 9 course. Bye-bye and have a great day.